Well, hey y'all, welcome to the official relaunch of my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nina and I've been crafting since I was 8 years old. I learned to crochet when I was 8 and I taught myself how to knit when I was in my early 20s. A few months ago, I did a tipsy vlog out of nowhere. And usually when you do something like that, it's not a good idea. But for me, ever since I did it, I've been thinking about it. And I've just been kind of like, I should do that again. I really loved doing it when I did it before. So it's been almost 10 years. And now I am back and ready to become a part of the knidosphere again. I think that what happened is that I just had too much going on in my life before. In my previous Tipsy video, I talked about how we're a military family, and in the last, I don't know, however many years, 10 years, we've had 8 moves. And when I started my knitting vlog before, I had literally just had my last baby. She's actually featured in many of the videos. I'm like holding her. And so, yeah, life just got kind of hectic between having 3 children, a newborn, being a part of this military lifestyle where we're moving all the time. And also something that happened on the blog back then is that my mother-in-law, who was very much like a mother to me, passed away. And so it was just hard to maintain. It was hard to recover. And so I took a break, and then I ended up taking a really long, almost 10-year hiatus. But what's different this time is that I don't have, number one, the most major thing is that I don't have any small kids. That young baby that was in the video is now 10 years old. And the other thing is that the parts that scare me, I have help on now. Like, I think that before, you can see in the quality of my videos it was 10 years ago. Technology has come a long way since then. But also, I was really afraid of the technical side of things. And so I'm still afraid, but there was so much help available, including all 3 of my young kids who were very savvy. And so anything that I might be feeling anxious about, I can find help and get done the way I want it done. So I think that that's a couple of reasons why this might be the perfect time for me to relaunch my channel. So since I've been gone, I noticed that there's been some major changes in the knitting, what is it called? Knit podcasting. One of the main things is just the quality and the structure. Like, everybody's quality in video is, the standard is to have very great high quality video, excellent looking thumbnails, and everybody is kind of like on a format. Everybody does like their spring, this is what to wear, what size inclusive, like everybody just kind of goes like that. And I think that that's fine and well and good. I'm sure that I'll be doing those type of things as well. But I do miss some of those old school things. And if you were an old fan of this channel, you know I'm kind of old school anyway, And if you're knitting and you're crocheting and you're crafting, you're sewing or whatever, you have old school vibes, right? In some way. Even if you're very modern in your choices, these are slow crafts. These are handmade items, right? And there is something quite calming and traditional about these handicrafts or whatever. So yeah, I think what I miss most are people just I don't know, being themselves, being relaxed on the internet, going against the grain of what everybody else is doing. And so we'll see how, once I'm in it, if I'm able to do that, or if, just the way that things are set up online, it's just more of an industry now or something. But my whole purpose is to come on here and have fun and share my projects and knit with you guys, and talk about what I'm reading, talk about what I'm listening to, what I'm watching, my everyday life stuff. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it's the podcast that I'm watching, but I feel like a lot of those have kind of gotten away from just sitting and knitting and chatting to more of like, here are the patterns that are out, here are the yarns that are out, this is the needles, merchandise type of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. Child, if somebody wants to give me some merchandise, I'll do the merchandise thing. But I do kind of miss just sitting and people talking about these projects and also giving you a peek into their lives. I'm not saying that nobody does that anymore. I'm just saying that more and more, I guess, parts of the industry are a part of the podcast than just personal. I went to my kid's soccer game and knit. I went to, and so we'll see if that format goes. There might be a reason why I don't see that. Anyway, I'm gonna give you some traditional, what is it called? Like a traditional roster of an old school podcast. So let's talk about what I finished. My finished objects. I have quite a few. I talked about them in my Tipsy video, but I didn't have them to show because I really just did that on a whim. So I have some items here that I finished, and don't laugh at me because the first thing I'm going to show you that I finished are Christmas socks. A pair, right? And I didn't come on here prepared. I know that, actually I don't know that. This gray yarn is from some random yarn that I got in an Aldi in Germany. One of the best things about Aldi in Europe is that, like, when it comes of season, they start selling just these very cheap €5, €3 packs, and I might have 4 balls of like sock knitting yarn in it, including the pattern and the needles, metal or wooden needles in it. And so I picked up several of those when we lived in Germany. I think that was 2017. I would just be doing my grocery shopping and I'd be like, oh, the fall. And they would have all these great, packets of sock knitting kits available for super duper cheap. And so if you ever want to see some of those that I picked up, just comment below and say, hey, show them to us real quick as a part of, like, stash acquisition or whatever. But yeah, that was some of that yarn. And it probably just said sock and wool or something like that on it. It didn't have like and then the other one, this self-striping. Now I know that was like 100-gram ball of some German yarn that, like, I'm not gonna be able to remember how to say it. Schockmeyer Schuster. I can't remember. You know what? I hope that's not offensive. But I will put it up on the screen what yarn I'm talking about, but it was 100-gram, and I intended to knit all 3 of my kids a pair of socks for like Christmas, and I got 1 pair done, girl, so I got 2 more pairs. So since I only got 1 pair done, nobody got socks for Christmas, because if you do for one, you have to do for all. And so this year, that will be a part of, I'll start earlier this year, because I legit, like on a whim, was like, you know what I should do? You know how that goes. And so I didn't get it done. I got 1 set done. And so another goal for this year would be to get the other sets done. And to get the other sets done and match the Christmas pajamas to the socks I knit, like at the beginning of Christmas season. See, a plan comes together. See, it was meant to be. It wasn't supposed to be last year. It was supposed to be this year. Yeah, so anyhow, I got these socks done. It's just a basic vanilla pattern. What kind of heel is this? It is a short row heel. And girl, I will buy random knitting needles, and I like the magic loop for socks. I like double pointed as well. I like the old school double pointed needles, but I like a long magic loop needle. And I saw back in the day that there were like some I want to say Nova Cubic something. They were like these square needles, metal needles from Knitters. I don't think it was Knitter's Pride. It was Knitter's Knit Pro probably. And so I bought a pair of size zeros, size ones. The only reason why I don't have them here is because I used them for this pair of socks. The socks came out great, but child, they were so sharp. The tips of my feet. I didn't realize that I would push the tip of my needles sometimes, and the pushing of the tip of the needle, and like how sometimes I didn't realize that I had a death grip on my needles when I really got going or whatever. And so, you know, the little wear, like if you did a lot of writing in school, you have that callus here or whatever. Well, child, I was getting the same thing when I was using those Nova Cubic square needles. So anyhow, my sister loves a sharp needle. So when she came to visit, I said, take these with you because I was in pain. So there you have it. That's the yarn. That's the needles. That's the socks. So I completed those. And then prior to that, some of y'all might have saw on my Instagram. Now, the way my girl wears this sweater out. Back in the day, I shouldn't say back in the day, literally like 4 or 5 years ago, Harry Styles made an appearance in this patchwork sweater, and my girls got a hold of it. And when I was getting back into crochet last year, my youngest said, will you make me one of those patchwork sweaters since you're knitting again or crocheting again? I said, of course. And so we went to Michael's and she picked out all the yarn that she wanted. And so we just picked up some, like, you know, standard acrylic loops, and I can't remember what it is, but y'all know what I'm talking about from. This is gonna be great. Welcome back. But anyhow, it's some of that standard acrylic from Michael's. But then she also picked this kind of velour. Listen, this yarn was so hard to work with, but it feels so fantastic. And I love the way that it looks. It is so like, you know, cottage core. Yeah, that's what it is. It gives cottage core vibes. The way it knits up, and it looks like little rosebuds on with the ivy in the background. That's what it looks like. That's what it reminds me of to me. Reminds me of, right? I love this. It was horrendous to work with, to weave in, to block. It was the pits. But I low-key must be a glutton for punishment because I want to use this yarn again for something, and I want to use it for something to wear. It is so soft and luscious. It is so beautiful looking. I will go through the fire for this. Through the fire. I will do it because I like it. And you know something I realized about myself? I like a tacky yarn. If you find it tacky, I don't find it tacky, but most people do find yarn like this kind of tacky, right? And I just discovered about myself that I just like tacky yarn. Another example is the other the other finished object I'm going to show you in a little bit. You can see this yarn. It's what people would consider tacky. And I love it. I wish I had so much more. This is from the stash 10 years ago, honey. We'll get to it, okay? So anyhow, I made this Harry Styles sweater. I made a whole bunch, and I crocheted it. And I crocheted all the patches and sewed them together. And then I did the little button bands and, you know, sleeve bands, arm bands, right? All crochet. And I whipped that up, honey. And when I got it together, I felt like a superhero because it was so fast. It was so easy. And my daughter, she wears this out. I mean, I'm so glad I did it in acrylic yarn. I mean, she just wears the heck out of this thing. And so, yeah, and she's like so proud, you know, my mommy made this for me. It's great. And so, and people will compliment her on it, you know, because she'll have a cute little outfit going with it. And she'll be so proud to be like, my mom made it by hand. And so that's always a blast. It always feels good when people are like, really? And they're all impressed and whatnot. And so that was another finished object. Now the last, we're going to call it finished. I'm going to give it to one of my girls because that's the only person that will fit. I originally had started knitting this thing a decade ago for myself. And when I decided that, you know what, I'm back on my stuff. I'm back on my bull, right? I was going through some of my stash that I have in tubs downstairs in my basement. And there were some project bags, mini project bags, that had projects in them that had all of the pieces knitted up but not put together. And this was one of them. So and then I put the pieces together, and I'm gonna show you what an inexperienced knitter I was. So this is the finished product, and it's really fantastic actually. Oh, I actually didn't finish it. I see I still have some. It's basically done. Anyway, so it has this great, you see that little lacy? Oh, I love that part. It just gives an extra flair. And then it comes kind of across like that. You see how that comes across? And then you button it. And then you have like this great, and I had visions, honey, because you see all these little flecks of color. I said, I'm gonna get me one of those little t-shirt dresses, like a blue, like a royal blue or a true blue t-shirt dress, or even a red t-shirt dress, and then wear this little bolero half sweater over top of it, and I'd be the cutest thing on this side of town, right? But you know, something about this, I still had the little booklet. It's from the Queensland collection book 4. It's a summer book, and I'll show you the actual pattern. It is I wonder if it's gonna have a pattern name. Some of these are still quite cute. Yes, this is Bessie. So here is Bessie, the pattern in the book, right? Queensland collection. Let's see I wonder if this thing has a copyright on it. Let's see. Knitting Fever, copyright, Jane Ellison, 2006. 20 years ago, that ain't 10. But I probably started knitting it 10 years ago. And then knit every single piece and then just threw it in a bag. Just, wow. Threw it in a bag, zipped it up, and put it in a corner somewhere. So I got a hold of it and I sewed it all together. It took probably about 45 minutes, 30 minutes to get it all sewn together. And voila, I got a bolero. I have a Bessie. So, but you know, in 2006, there were, let's see what the sizes are. The sizes are for a 32, a 34. Actually, there's more than I thought there would be, because when you look in some of those Rowan magazines that I have, it is like small, medium, and large, and that's it. You want to talk about size inclusivity? Where? Who? Why? They were like, honey, if you can't fit into this into this course, and you can't fit. But this one actually has 32 bust, 34 bust, 36 bust, 38, and a 40. And I knit it in the medium, the 36, so the size 3. But now either one of my girls actually can wear this. And so here's the gag, is that I knit it, right? And I knit the pieces, and you're supposed to like cast off, a certain way for the armholes. And I made my armholes so flippin' deep, like that I actually the actual sleeves were too small for how deep I made the armhole. So I just kind of fudged it and then sewed it together. And so we have some like flappy material here. Nobody would ever notice, honestly, except for maybe another knitter, except for myself. you know, but it's just one of those things that, when you get a little experience under your belt, you're like, So, yeah, overall, for a knit that is 10 to 20 years old, a knit that is 10 to 20 years old, not bad, right? And so, yeah, I low-key would like to, this yarn is nowhere to be, it's a cotton yarn that has these, I bet you it's acrylic, it's not even wool, acrylic bits spun into it, and so it does a thick, thin type of thing. And I love this yarn. I can recall that I probably knit these pieces up so fast, because when you're knitting it and then you get some of those colors, you're just motivated to keep going. It's like when you're knitting like when you have self-striping yarn for socks, and you're motivated to do the next row and the next row so you can see what color it is or whatever. It was very much like that. And I actually like a cotton piece. I like cotton. So yeah, if I could get a hold of this yarn again, if they made this yarn, Queensland, make this yarn again. If you still exist, that's real talk. But anyhow, Queensland collection, make this specialty yarn again. I love this yarn. What was this yarn called? I want to say Tahiti. Is that right? Yes. Oh my gosh. So I needed 8 balls of this Tahiti yarn, and I don't remember what the measurements would have been, but yeah. And this is actually a cute little booklet, for summer knits. Look, they got a little knit dress. That's so cute. It's knit in pieces, not in the round. Like, why are we doing that? Oh boy, but yeah. Oh, this tank is cute too. But yeah, it's one of those situations. It's from 2006. If you don't fit certain sizes, then you're not gonna fit, honey. So that's from the vault. And I think that now that I have this sewn together, I'm gonna start trying to get rid of things as I accomplish them. And so I think I'm just gonna put this in a donation bin. Or if one of you guys want one of these, once this one of these, I only have one. You want this earmarked 2006 little Queensland collection book 4 pattern book, reach out to me, comment below, or send me a message or something, and I'll get it to you. And you will have to put up, I wrote in some of it, when I was doing that one pattern. I didn't knit anything else out of here. But there are some really cute, again, I don't know, you guys might find my style a little tacky, but I love that. Bobbles with the novelty yarn, girl. And I love that. Anyway, so yeah, if you want an old 2006, comes with a yarn pattern book from Queensland collection, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to donate it to my local Salvation Army, probably. So yeah, so that was a finished object. I put it together, and I'll be letting my girls wear that if they want to wear it. I'm thinking Fiona will want to wear it. And it will go with so much. Dresses, tanks. And then the last finished object is also another item that I knit almost all the pieces to during COVID. Like, I had not been knitting, and then COVID hit, and I was doing all the things, and I took this one class on Craftsy. It used to be a class on Craftsy. I don't think it's available anymore. And I knit this long weekend cardigan. And it is like knee length. And it is just, I'm going to have to do like a little reel with a fashion show, because this is so cozy. I knit it in Knit Picks yarn. DK. It's a tweed yarn. It'll come to me, or I'll just put it on the screen, because of course I can't think of a single name of a yarn. Although I remember the Tahiti yarn from 20 years ago. That's crazy. Anyway, this is Knit Picks. Tweed yarn. Wool of the Andes. Does Wool of the Andes make a tweed? I don't think it's city tweed. Anyway, tweed yarn in this purple. It's fantastic. This thing is so cozy. You can wear it over loungewear. You can. I wore it over a little chicken frying dress from Walmart with black stockings and boots, and I look cute. You can wear it with. I have a little pair of pleather leggings and a black tank top, and you can wear this with so much. It's so versatile, and it's so cozy. So yeah, during COVID, I ordered the yarn on a whim, because I saw the class on Craftsy, and then I knit all the pieces, and then I put it into a basket, and I pushed the basket into a corner and never finished it. So it was another one of those things that was just like out in a basket. When I was looking through some of my stash, when I, started picking up things again, and I came across it, and I said, girl, come on. And so all the pieces were knit. First, and something else I need to show you. Look at my pockets. Look at my pockets. It was knit in pieces, and then you seam them together. You knit the two pockets, and then you sew on the pockets, right? First of all, I don't know if you can see my seams, but they look amazing. And then my pockets. Now, they gave me some trouble when I was sewing them on, because I couldn't get the placement quite right. So I had to take them off maybe 3 times and put them in the right spot, pin down exactly where I wanted them to go, so I could get that, placement. Because when I'm wearing a sweater like this, or if I'm wearing something with pockets, I want to put my hands in the pockets constantly. So, yeah, the pocket placement was the only thing. But once I got them placed and I sewed them on, honey, can't tell me nothing. Those pockets look so good. Look at those pockets. Look so good. Yes. So, Knit Picks tweed yarn. I put it on the screen. Long weekend cardigan. I want to say it's a Patton's pattern, if I'm remembering correctly. And it used to have a whole tutorial on Craftsy. But I can't find it for the life of me. So those are the finished objects. Fashion show to come with this one, honey, because it's my fave. And so those are all my finished objects. The next time that we get together, I will have all of my fall winter knits done, hopefully. And there aren't that many of them, but there are a few. And so those will be my finished objects for the next video. What I'm working on now are those items. It's actually just one item for the fall and winter that I still need to finish up. I think that I was talking about, I was knitting it in the last video, in my tipsy video, in my drunk knitting video. It was the Willowwood, I think that's the name of it. And it was in Pom Pom Quarterly at one point. And I think it was another, during COVID, I picked up that pattern, but I never knit anything. And then when I started picking up knitting this past year, I said, I think I have yarn for that. And so I did have yarn for it, but I did have to track down a little bit of extra, and it's a different dye lot, but I'm doing it anyway, whatever, right? And so I still have the other sleeve and all of the like neck, and I did a is it provisional cast on, so I could know how much yarn I was going to have for the bottom. So I still have to do the ribbing for the bottom because I didn't know how much yarn I was actually going to have. So yeah, that is the only item from the fall that I'm still working on, and I'm barely working on it, but I'm going to push myself. I'm going to push myself for the next video to get it done. But in the meantime, I've been working on, and you know what it's going to be? Who is it? Nora. Knits by Nora. Nora Knits. I'm Nora. This is also known as Nora Knits. Her. She very briefly, in the last video I saw, mentioned something about knitting from the vault. And you know I'm a knit from the vault, baby, because I have so much yarn, so much pattern, so many magazines, so many books. And so I am summer knitting. I believe in summer knits. Like I said, I like cotton yarn. And so I have started knitting. I've had these tank tops on my Ravelry queue for decades. And so I'm finally knitting them up. The first one that I'm knitting, it's knit in pieces, and it is oh gosh, what is that man's name? Martin Story. Is that right? He used to be kind of I'm grabbing the book here. He used to be kind of it's a Rowan knit, which, like I said, small, medium, and large, honey. This one, they actually have extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. And the extra large is 40-inch bust. Now that is just shameful. So I'm knitting that, but of course I'm modifying because I am more than a 40-inch bust. I'm like a 44-inch bust. So I think I'm getting like 6 stitches to the inch. So I cast on, and it's knit in 2 pieces. And so we'll see how it comes out because I'm doing some things. I'm knitting the 2 pieces, and I'm getting 6 stitches per inch on my Knit Picks yarn. I got a lot of knit picks going this episode, don't I? Let's see. I believe this is Stroll, Knit Picks Stroll, Shine. So Knit Picks Shine yarn, which is a sport weight yarn. And so I'm getting 6 stitches to the inch, and I think that I am doing it so that this is 20, 21, 22. I can't remember how many stitches I cast on now. I have the notes somewhere. But just mind you, I'm doing it per my measurements. But I wasn't confident. And so I just did maybe like an inch more for each. That sounds right. I think that's what I did, because what I really wanted to do on this tank top, which I'm about to show you, my favorite feature of it is these cables. So what I'm going to do is knit more of the cables and put them into the seam on each side. And the cable is about an inch wide. So if I have an inch cable on each side underneath the arm to sew the main pieces onto, that's 2 extra inches. And then I think I did maybe an extra inch on both the fronts and the backs, like for my calculation on my gauge swatch or whatever. And so I figure that will give me what I need. And I'm also considering putting in some bust darts because your girl is busty. But then again, I don't want to be doing too much. So we'll see once things get going how things are looking. It's not a sewn together pattern. So it's not like a try on as you go situation, unfortunately. So this is the tank. Okay, this is the tank. And what I want to do, what I'm doing, it's knit in 2 pieces, you know, so you knit the front and you knit the back. But what I want to do is on this side, you see how that that beautiful cabling detail there. I'm still going to do that, but I also want to put that cable down the sides too. And so that cable is about 1 inch wide, and so I'm going to put one on each side, and then I added 1 inch to each piece, like to the front and to the back. And so I'm thinking with that, I should be somewhere near where I want to be for my size, you know. So we'll see how that works out. I'll let you know. We'll see if I'm crying in the car and wherever else I'm knitting this. So that is one of my summer knits, and I am just knitting the back so far. That is Knit Picks Shine Sport Weight yarn in the color, what's this color called? Willow. But I love the rustic look of that tank top. And I kind of low-key feel like if after all these years I am still dying to knit that, then it's a classic piece, right? I just love that design after all this time. And so then the other thing that I'm going to knit, it was from, gosh, what is the name of that man? Interweave Knits. And it was the Hanky Tank. The Hanky Tank is by, who's the Hanky Tank by? I want to say, no, that was not who it was by. Joan Forgione. And so this Hanky Tank, let's see if I can find the actual, in this magazine, looks all beat up because it is from, what year is this from? Oh, the cover's gone, so I can't even tell you what. No, it's not. It's just been, let's see, 2015. So actually not that long ago. I mean, not as long as it is 2006, okay? So 2015, about 10 years ago, Interweave Knits published their spring-summer issue for 2015, and the Hanky Tank was a part of that. And I just think that's the cutest thing. Yep. And so I cast that on. Now that's in the round. You knit it in the round and then you split at a certain point and work back and forth. And so I cast that on, and I'm using Knit Picks yarn. I'm using Cotton, I think that's what I'm using this time. And I don't know what color this is. It's yellow. It's a very bright, vibrant yellow. And so, yeah, that is what I'm working on. What I'm enjoying working on. I am making myself work on the willow wood. Like, my sister was supposed to knit that with me, and she tuckered out on it long ago. And when she tuckered out, I was like, well, what am I knitting for if I'm knitting by myself? Which is a terrible attitude to have. But it's the one I had. It's the one I took up. And already we're doing those little eyelets. Look at how cute these eyelets are. Like, for the Hanky Tank. Oh, I lost them that fast. So I got some of the eyelets going. Yeah, so cute. And then that little center panel, it's given shape. Yeah, it's so cute. This little shape on the center panel. So yeah, I'm really enjoying knitting that. And I'm thinking I'll be working on those too. And I'll be finishing up the willow wood, and then I'll show you all of what I knit for fall and winter in my next video, hopefully. Well, in my next knitting podcast video, because I'm thinking I'm gonna do a video about what books I'm knitting through. So I know I will. I'll probably do it after this one or maybe tomorrow. Because I've been reading voraciously. I've been listening to audiobooks relentlessly. And when I do that, like, I've been journaling non-stop because all the little thoughts pop into my head or whatever. And so, yeah, I want to share some of that with you guys and hopefully get some conversation and community going on that. Now, as far as acquisitions, I'm going to do this a little bit different because I have bought a little bit of yarn. I am buying a little bit of yarn. It'll be here for the next video. But what I'm going to do, I have so much yarn in stash that a lot of it has to be brought up from the basement. I have a lot of it in this room, but a lot of it has to be brought up from the basement. So we're going to act like it's new stash, okay? We're just going to talk about it like it's new because it feels new to me. It feels brand new because I haven't touched it, honey. And so I am going to go out of frame just for a minute to go get my basket because I also did something else motivated by Nora Knits that I had never done before. I went to the thrift store here on Post and they had yarn there. And it was the most, like, I want to do it again. Like, I kind of want to start prowling the the streets for but I do. They had yarn there. When I tell you somebody said I have had it, they put their whole project in the remaining yarn and just donated it. And so I came across it and I love the yarn. The knit was like, she was so close, y'all. She had split. She was working in the yarn and she had already split. And when you look at this, I found this project. So that, do you see this? She had split and she has most of, I want to say was probably the back knit. Now, I don't know what pattern this is. That could be a cool challenge to, I think this could fit me actually. That could be a cool challenge to just make something up for what has been knit. But y'all, I found this at our thrift store here on Post. And she just said, you know what? I've had enough. I ain't never going back. Whoever, she or he, said, nope, enough is enough. And threw the whole project away. And so there's two yarns here. This one and then this specialty yarn. So this is the rest of the yarn. This is Corfu Missoni. It's a Filatura di Crasa, which is Italian yarn. I know that for sure from when we lived in Italy, and everything there. Ooh. Everything there was, you know, yarn, filatura. Yeah. So yeah. 50 grams. What is this? Corfu Missoni Il Filati, which is yarn. Cotton viscose polyamide. And there are 142 yards of ball. We have 2, 4, 5 of these balls left and one of this, which does not have a label on it. But boy, is it springy. I don't know if you can see how that is spun. It's like it's very tightly spun little yarn. And it is thin, honey. I don't know. It's not quite lace weight, but it is not. It's like between. I guess it's a fingering. It's not between. But yeah. And this is probably. Did I already say it was a sport? I don't know if it's quite sport, honestly. I don't know. But yeah, I found this in the thrift store. And so I haven't done anything with it yet. I can't decide whether I'm going to unravel this, if I'm going to make it a knitting challenge or what. Like, but it tickled me and also made me so sad that whoever was doing this was like, I had enough and put it away, because look at this. This is somebody, it's stuff like this that makes me want to just add to it and not unravel the work. Like, is that too sentimental for someone? I don't know. It's probably too sentimental. And she had donated with it were all these old, like, Susan Bates and gosh, I can't even think of the other, like, just old school knitting needles. Oh, here it is. Susan Bates. They may all be Susan Bates, but it's like Leisure Arts. Do you remember? Like, I bought so many of these Leisure Art crochet books when I was like a kid and in my teens. Like, so yeah, Quicksilver, Susan Bates. And they're like that nylon. Oh, there's even a crochet hook in this one. Along with the needles. Size 6 needles, and it's that. They're like flexy, plastic, you know. But they're kind of cool. And then just those old school. So I used to have, you know, when I first started knitting, or I didn't know much about knitting at all, I had a whole bunch of these. And the standard practice would be to boil some hot water and soak that cord that was very inflexible in hot water to get it to be malleable. But like, it just gave me, I was in my feels when I found this. Like, and I want to say that it was, oh yeah, it has the price right here. Do y'all see that? $5.99. Like, it's a crime. It's a crime. It's a wonderful crime. So yeah. That is what I found on my On Post thrift store that I was not expecting to find, but I was so pleased to find, and I felt like Nora because she finds the greatest things at her thrift stores. We have a Habitat for Humanity, and she finds stuff at Habitat for Humanity all the time. I need to roll up in there and see what I can find. And so the other thing that I pulled from my stash was all of this. I ended up creating something from, I have all of this DK weight gloss yarn in different colors. And so I pulled all this, and then I ended up ordering a couple more colors. So I have more than I can stand in this DK weight. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to make with all of these. But I created something from scratch that's a knit and crochet project. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know what it is, but I'll show it to you because it still needs to be blocked. Both items that I have done for my fall winter knitting, crocheting need to be blocked. And so that's what we're waiting on. That's why they're not in this video, is because they need to be blocked. It had her little swatch in there. I mean, and look, so whatever pattern that is, it has like that row of blue and like all these things mixed into it. Just, anyway, she had a little swatch. I just was, like I said, I was in my feels when I found that. Like that's 3/4, maybe it's not 3, it's half knit. Half knit, because she would still need arms. She would need the rest of the back, or the front, and a collar, and, you know, whatever. So we'll say it was half finished, and she was just like, anyway, so that is what I have acquisitions rise. So what is newly acquired for this gloss DK was this navy blue, these navy blue balls. And this gloss DK weight cranberry. This, I don't know, it's coming off a little bit orangey, but it's cranberry, maroon red or whatever. So I ordered those new, but the rest of these, I originally had ordered these back in the day intending to crochet this awesome skirt that I saw in Vogue Knitting back in the day. I'll see if I thought, I don't have that jacket, but I had this back in the day. I had like this very tailored looking black velvety jacket, you know, suit jacket that would have been very structured with the skirt and the boots. I thought, oh, I can do that right away. So of course, I immediately ran out, where I immediately ran to my computer screen and ordered the yarn from Knit Picks, because that's what you do. Knit Picks is like my go-to when I don't know what yarn. I was like, I know I can find something I want to use at Knit Picks, right? And so I ordered the yarn immediately, and by the time the yarn arrived, I was doing something else. Shame. Shame. So anyway, now I need to think of something else to do with all of this gloss DK yarn. All right, so let's see. I did finished objects. I did what I'm currently knitting, and then I did stash acquisition. So I think that is the old school standard of what you cover in a knitting vlog. Y'all let me know what else you want to see in future vlogs, and I'll try and make it happen, because you know your girl, she needs to keep up with the times. But until then, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed chatting with me and looking at my projects and me going down memory lane and talking to you about all the stuff, please subscribe to my channel, and be on the lookout for more videos. I know that I will at least post 2 long form videos a month. And then the rest of it, I've been really on my shorts, and my shorts really consist of me knitting and talking about books, but it could be other stuff, but always knitting. So I look forward to getting to know you guys, and welcome to my channel. Subscribe and stay a while. Okay, I'll see you next time.